Greetings and salutations, Dave, or I guess technically I should call you Dead on Dave. This is Christopher Daniels.
Hey everyone, it's the Native American Tonka. Want to give a big shout out to Dead on Dave.
Dave, this is Leon White, Big Van Vader.
Dead on Dave. What's up, man? It's the coach.
Hello, this is the hardcore legend Mick Foley, and I know when I want to keep up with the latest in wrestling news from around the world, I check in with Dead on Dave Productions. He covers a wide variety of wrestling topics, including the career of the hardcore legend. Don't miss it. Dead on Productions. Yeah.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy, Dead on Dave, and I'm coming at you live from Germany at 4 a.m. in the morning. What the hell am I doing awake? Well, you know what? I can't sleep. I'm in a lot of pain. And sometimes when I'm in my darkest moments, I need to be cheered up by one of my most favorite things, and that is, of course, wrestling. And you know what? It doesn't get much better than NXT and CWC, especially with what's going on with the main roster stuff. Neither one of the main shows, Raw or SmackDown, seem to have an identity yet. However, CWC and NXT both have already forged a very, very unique identity and relationship with its audience, with very simple storytelling and fantastic in-ring performances. And that's all you got to do sometimes. That's what's so wonderful about the whole concept. And it is a proof of concept. At times, it doesn't even feel that this is the same company that is booking and producing these two shows that are producing Raw and SmackDown. It just feels like it's completely different entity, man. And we got a hell of a CWC. We got a really good NXT, but CWC, 2 matches, both delivered fantastic for the quarterfinals. So now we have everything set for next week's live 2-hour finale. If you can believe that, the CWC is already coming to a close, and it is indeed for a trophy. There's no cruiserweight title that will be handed out at the beginning of this tournament, or at the end of this tournament, I should say. So that is interesting as well. That means just because Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre have not signed and may not sign with the WWE, that does not mean that either one of them may not win. They could both easily win this tournament and have that trophy and then come back next year. Maybe next year they're more willing to sign with WWE, whatever the case may be. But because they're not integrating the results of this finals as the new champion for the cruiserweight division on Raw, it gives them a little bit flexibility. It gives them a little bit more flexibility to go for an entertaining finale. I mean, I think everybody wants to see Zack Sabre and Kota Ibushi, and that's taking nothing away from TJ Perkins and Grand Metalik. Both fantastic. I love TJ Perkins, but don't get me wrong, man. Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre. I mean, come on, man. That's amazing. And it's something that we may never see again on WWE television. So it feels like it's a must. And I wouldn't have a problem with it happening. Now, that being said, if Metalik or TJ Perkins gets the job done, I'm not going to complain either, because I think that there's just so much great stuff going on. So we're going to get into both matches that happened on CWC a little bit more in depth. We're going to start with NXT, but before we do, let's go ahead and big shout out to everybody who's here. I see Joe Martin. I see Zion Smith. That's right. We have a Zion in the chat. You don't have a Zion on your chat. I got Sequin Winstead and The Sarge. What's up? Casey McLaughlin, Derek Bradford. Gun Cannon is here. Holy crap, that's fantastic. Jesus Gonzalez, he's here. AJ Tucker, MACOD 114. We got all kinds of good people here. Thanks for joining me right here live on Dead on Dave Productions. Make sure you hit that like button if you've yet to do so. Subscribe to the channel, and let's get this party started. We're also going to be taking your calls, your questions, your concerns, your hopes, your dreams, your loves, your quips, your quotes, anything you might have. We're also going to go ahead and take that live on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And of course, the number 702-751 2902. Don't worry, the Drep, Sleeping Angels, and Leaping Lizard, I see you guys as well. How you doing? All right, let's start with NXT. Let's jump through it real quick. I really enjoyed NXT. I thought it was a very fun show tonight. I thought everything was very well done. Considering that they've lost talent, you know, that they're losing guys, people are moving up, both male and female. They are doing a good job of highlighting new stars. And we see that right from the beginning with, you know, first Asuka with we see an Asuka interview in this show, which wasn't awful. Both her and Shinsuke have sat down and done interviews and kind of handled themselves better there than they have with their in-ring interviews, which is, you know, people are like, oh, they can't speak a English and all that good stuff. But both handled themselves very well, I think, in the slowed down interviews. And you can't really deny that they still have this unbelievable charismatic quality about them. But the show kicks off with TM61 against Tony Nese and Daivari brother, man. I like the fact that once again we're seeing people from the CWC coming over to NXT and taking on guys. I like that. I like the integration. I like that they're bringing people in and having a good time with them. They're bringing them right over from the CWC and giving them a place in NXT, whether they're going to stay there or they're going to go up to the Raw Cruiserweight division. Doesn't matter. The fact is, these are talents that already kind of got established through the CWC and that are already considered some of the greatest wrestlers in the world coming into NXT and kind of putting some new blood and new talent into that organization. This was, you know, a glorified showcase for TM61. I love this tag team. I love everything that they do. I think they're absolutely fantastic. Getting a victory here, they're just so much fun to watch. They're high impact, they're fast, they're quick, they're slick, they're cool looking. TM61 certainly can be champions in WWE, certainly in NXT, and it's kind of fun to see the tag team division get such a good emphasis, especially seeing how poorly it's done on both Raw and SmackDown as of late. So, you know, it's cool to see them do what they do there. Like already talked about the Asuka interview. Nothing wrong with that at all. We got a Steve Cutler backstage interview. Man, Steve Cutler, okie dokie. Talking about how Shinsuke Nakamura has not sacrificed anything to be in NXT. Yeah, this guy's going to get his shit kicked in. And you know what? I don't think anybody's going to be upset about that. We got to see a new woman in the ring, Leah Vaughn. Unfortunately, she's taking on Ember Moon, who once again showcased just how unbelievably talented she is. The gymnastics background, how much in control she is compared to the things that I saw in her independent days. She's got all of that amazing athleticism, but now it seems to be harnessed. She easily has one of the most exciting finishers in all of wrestling right now. With that twisting stunner off the top rope, it's magnificent. It really is. It is just a marvel to watch. And she is just, there's something really captivating about her. And I think that she's going to have great matches with Asuka. I think those two are going to have fantastic showcases. I think that they complement each other's styles. Asuka really hasn't been in the ring with anyone in WWE that I think will bring out some things that we haven't seen. She's going to be physically dominating over Ember Moon, but Ember Moon's going to be able to do things and keep her on the ropes with that innovative offense that Asuka hasn't dealt with. I want to see that so badly. After that, we got No Way Jose, who very interestingly, No Way Jose and Andrade have switched opponents now, with No Way Jose getting Bobby Roode, Mr. Glorious, and No Way had a whole bunch of things to say backstage, which was completely fine. Apparently we're going to be seeing those two get around and get in there and mix it up with each other very soon. And I have no problem with that. I think No Way needs to start getting some victories against bigger talent. I don't know if it's going to happen. Certainly probably not against Bobby Roode because of how over he is, but still something to talk about and very interesting there. After that, we also got Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano in the back, both of them being injured over the last couple of weeks, but they are cleared to wrestle at the CWC live finale next week. And if they win their match, they're going to get a championship rematch with the Revival. So pretty good shit to see DIY this kind of rocky story, the Revival really taking it to them. It's a fun, slow build, very easy story to tell, nothing convoluted, nothing over complex, just a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying it. Like I said earlier, Andrade has switched opponents with Mr. Noe Jose, and this week he takes on Austin Aries. If you noticed, Andrade is, they toned him down a little bit. They took off the stupid hat. He no longer has the overalls. Now he's wearing one of his own shirts, and he's out there just being Andrade. They're dropping that weird drug lord gimmick or whatever the hell they were doing with him. I don't know. But they're making it a little bit more simplistic now, and I think that's a good idea. Austin Aries comes out to a really big ovation like he usually gets. But this match was a lot of fun, and I think it was basically the best thing we saw on this show. They got a lot of good stuff out of each other. Andrade, while still not seeming to be able to get over with the NXT crowd completely, he does have his moments. He is so impressive and so graceful for his size, and it's really fun to watch him work. Aries is Aries. It's just everything Aries does is effortless. Everything he does just seems with the greatest of ease, and it's so much fun to see what he does. He gets a victory after a ridiculous power bomb into a last chancery that was just filthy. Almost loses again, but losing to guys like Rude and Austin Aries are not necessarily the worst things in the world to happen to a young career, especially when you look good against both men. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People are going to be like, well, these kids are getting buried, mostly because you don't understand the use of the word buried, but that's all right. That's all right. You'll learn. You'll learn eventually. We got another one of those Sanity vignettes. Not sure who that's going to be. There's some talk that it could be Eric Young. Who knows who it's going to be? I'm really not sure, but it is what it is there. Samoa Joe pops up for commentary for Shinsuke Nakamura's match, and it seems like we're getting a humble Joe. A Joe that seems defeated, but still very confident in his ability. This feud is not over with Shinsuke Nakamura. And I gotta be honest, even after that amazing match that I thought they had at NXT TakeOver, I'm looking forward to see the next chapter of this rivalry, because they had such a good fight, and I believe that they can have a different style match next time, and it'll be just as entertaining. Seeing Joe with different layers to his character is always nice. He was a little bit more funny out there, mispronouncing Tom's name and all that, interacting with Corey Graves. The looks on Joe's face, he's just a scary guy. He's being very reflective. I'm not buying it for a second. I know Joe far too well. We know what he's doing. We know what he's setting up. And it is a lot of fun to see this, the steps go forward. Shinsuke comes out once again to a huge pop. The crowd continues to love him. He gets a little match here with Steve Cutler. Cutler gets a little bit of offense. Not much. Shinsuke with another showcase. I don't really have a problem with it. I understand the reasoning for it. You don't want Shinsuke to be taken to task. You kind of just want him to just be the champion and just beat up these guys. And it's a good way to get a guy like Steve Cutler in there with a fantastic wrestler like Shinsuke Nakamura. So a lot of fun there. Shinsuke gets the victory, points at Joe a little bit, and you can see the tension mounting. Really good. They slowed down the feud to speed it back up, and I like that. Now I'm expecting, since this feud, the first time around, the first chapter, when they were going into TakeOver, they did not touch each other hardly at all. I'm expecting that to change. I'm expecting during this bout, this next build up to their next match, I'm expecting violence. Heavy violence. And I'm sure we're going to see that really soon. So that's really good stuff there. Like I said, I enjoyed NXT. I thought it was a lot of fun. Nothing epic, but certainly well done altogether. What'd you guys think of NXT? I'd love to hear from you guys in the chat right now. Go ahead and a little rating on NXT, and I'll read them off. As we move in to the CWC, only 2 matches, not a whole hell of a lot to talk about as far as, like, you know, how many matches, but the quality of both were Très Magnifique. Zack Sabre Jr. takes on Noam Dar. Fun match, man. Seeing what Zack Sabre's able to do from a technical standpoint, and Noam Dar not backing down and hitting him and taking him to the absolute limit. It looked like Sabre might lose there, but just really fantastic stuff. The finish was disgusting with that, almost dislocating Dar's shoulders with that double arm bar. It was absolutely disgusting. So much fun to see that match. Noam Dar, hopefully he's going to be in the WWE. He's a great young talent. Almost all these guys who have been in the tournament really should have a spot either in NXT or on the main roster, because it is just so much fun to see what they do. Zack Sabre getting the victory, not a huge shock there, but still getting pushed to the limit and seemingly getting a lot taken out of him going into the finals. Before we get to the other match, a little bit of business to take care of in the chat. MACOD with 8 out of 10 for NXT. The Drep 22, 7.5 out of 10 for NXT. Charles Lima, 6.7 out of 10. And the Drep says, you know what? Let's go with a 7. So there you go. There's your ratings for NXT. The second match for CWC, very entertaining, very fun, flamboyant. If you got a technical masterpiece in the first match, we got to see a much different style fight in the second. A crazy, crazy high-flying affair that would get cut off in the middle as TJ Perkins, the dab master, would take out all night long Rich Swann's knee. Some of the best selling you will see out of a wrestler happened out of Rich Swann tonight. Oh my God. He sold that knee injury so well. Beautiful storytelling. Great commentary by Daniel Bryan and Mauro Ranallo, who I wish would stop with some of the music references he gives, because it sounds so forced. But, you know, that really is Ranallo. That's what he does. He's always done it. He's done it in MMA. He did it when he was in New Japan. This is who he is. He's not putting it on. And he's got an unbelievable amount of knowledge. So it was. It doesn't take anything away when they go over the top. Daniel Bryan is really fitting well into that role in commentary. And a whole lot of fun to see that happen. And this match brought out a lot of emotion. Not knowing anything about their history, their past, the fact that they are friends and everything, it got told quite well within the confines of the ring. And I think everybody really understood it, especially at the end when TJ gets the victory over Rich Swann and then embracing him right after. Just really great storytelling. Propelling himself into the semifinals. He's got himself a tough draw. I believe he is taking on Kota Ibushi, and that means the other match is Zack Sabre versus Monsieur Grand Metalik. Both matches should be fantastic. Then building to the main event for that beautiful CWC trophy. I'm sure we're going to get some other matches. We already heard about getting Tommaso Ciampa and Gargano versus some tag team. I'm sure we're going to get some other guys who have been in the CWC tournament highlighting a little bit. So I think that'll be good. Pretty excited about that as well. One more look at all these guys before they either go to NXT or up to the main roster to go fight in the Cruiserweight division on Raw. Like I said, it doesn't look like whoever wins this tournament is going to be the Cruiserweight champion. I think it's a really smart move. It allows you to play your cards really close to your vest. You can go with a winner of the CWC, and it's not a real big deal because it doesn't lock them into a position. So that means Zack Sabre and Kota Ibushi, since they have not signed and nor looks like they're going to sign with WWE, can win this tournament and then be that champion and maybe come back next year if they do it again, which with the success of it and how much people have talked about it, even with the Cruiserweight division, you gotta figure they're gonna do this again. They would be stupid not to. But we'll see, man. I am looking forward to it. Derek Bradford in the chat. Dave, question. Do you think WWE will eventually sign Tozawa at some point? I hope they do. Yeah, I think they are. In fact, I think I saw him in the package for the Cruiserweight division. I believe we already saw him in there, so I believe they did sign him. So, pretty good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Need some water. Not going to be an overly long review, guys. Not a whole hell of a lot to talk about. So we're going to get right to your calls. Now go ahead, call in on Skype, David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. And of course the number 702-751-2902. Hit that like button if you've yet to do so. Machinima likes the likes. So that means I like the likes. So make sure you do it. But I do want to address this. Casey McLaughlin says every belt looks the same. Kind of stupid. See, I disagree. I think it's a really good idea to have your main singles titles look virtually the same with different backgrounds. You want that brand to be first and foremost. And now see here, what they were also able to do by keeping the belts, especially the world titles and the women's titles, looking the same, is not one belt is being put over the other one because it looks cooler. If they would have brought back a belt with prestige, that belt may have been in higher regard than the WWE Championship. But because the belts look the same, you take them as at face value that the Universal Championship means just as much as the WWE title. It does help that it's on Raw and all of that as well. It also helps that Kevin Owens is holding the belt. But I like the fact that the belts look similar. Yeah, I think it's an important thing. First caller of the night who's a little bit impatient. Sounds like he's doing beatboxing. The Drep22, you're live, Drep. What's up, buddy?
Oh, is my mic messed up? Well,
yeah, I thought you were beatboxing. Yeah, your damn mic's all messed up, brother.
Is it better?
Yeah, you're better now. What you got for me, man?
Oh, my fan. Once again, NXT, CWC killed it. Unlike Raw and SmackDown, which failed to exceed any of my expectations at all, because I thought both shows would suck anyways.
Well, I thought Raw had moments, man, especially at the beginning. That first hour Raw was fucking fantastic. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that flew by fast.
The rest of it sucked, but the first hour Raw was amazing.
Yeah. But as once again, just great wrestling from CWC. I don't want it to end. It's so sad that it's just coming to an end, dude.
It's already been 10 weeks. You know, that's the crazy thing. It just shows that simple storytelling, no outside promos, vignettes, just everything told within the ring can work. Now, can an entire organization be built just solely around that? No. But to have that coming over as a division, I think we have very high hopes for the cruiserweights in the WWE.
Yeah. But one thing I've really been bugged about is people actually were telling me stuff like there is no storytelling going on in CWC. It's just wrestling.
Oh, absolutely.
They're telling the story in the ring. They're telling it in the ring.
Well, that's what wrestling is. I mean, it is about telling stories within the confines of the ring. Yeah, they do talking and stuff with promos, but the real stories happen within the ring. Tonight, we saw two immensely different stories told. With Rich Swann and TJ Perkins, we saw a story of two friends having to battle each other for a spot in a prestigious tournament where everybody in the world has been brought in. We also got a story of Rich Swann losing his biggest asset, his knee, and some of the best selling I've seen in wrestling in years. There was all kinds of storytelling in that match. And then when you look at the other one, a technical masterpiece. Two guys who had a lot of respect for each other, just great back and forth action, an underdog almost getting the victory over one of the clear favorites. There was all kinds of storytelling. The people who say there's no storytelling in wrestling, all you got to do is walk away, because you know what? You don't need that type of hostility in your life.
Yeah. But one thing, when I was seeing his selling, I was thinking to myself, take notes, Roman. This is how you sell, bud.
This is what selling looks like, Roman. You don't just shake your head. You could do more than shake your head.
Yeah, well, that's about it for me. CWC killed it once again. Even though my favorite was last week with Brian Kendrick, I started crying, bawling my eyes out. But
Oh,
once
that
again,
was
CWC.
fantastic, wasn't it? My God.
Yeah.
That was emotional, man. Daniel Bryan did a great job with that. Just outright rooting for him and then going down and embracing him afterwards. The Brian Kendrick story has been a lot of fun to watch. Here's the thing. Nobody ever cared about Brian Kendrick. Never. They didn't care about his runs in WWE. I believe he's the guy who brought in Ezekiel Jackson. Nobody cared about that. Nobody gave a shit about his jacket or anything like that. But when you heard about what he was doing in the Indies after he left and what he did as a trainer helping out Eva Marie, yeah, he got some shit for that. But still, he did a good job, I think, in making her somewhat presentable at the very least. You just have all this respect for him. And then he comes back into the CWC. And then, remarkably, everybody just loves the guy because he puts everything out on the line. It is a great, great comeback story.
Yep. Well, I'm going to get out of here, but I do have one more question to ask you. This is about Eva Marie dyeing her hair black. What do you think about that?
She already redyed it. She already redyed it. It's already red again.
Oh, she did? Oh,
Yeah.
really? Wow, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh.
She fooled you.
Yeah, she got me, man. Thanks for taking my call.
She had time on her hand, man. She had some time on her hands.
Yep. Once
All
again,
right,
thanks for taking
Jeff,
my
I
call.
appreciate the call, buddy. Have yourself a good night.
You too.
Over the top rope, you go, Trep. Thanks for the call. Good stuff. We're taking your calls live on Skype. David Vancura, DAVIDVANCURA. Oh, of course, the number 702-75. She fooled you. 2902. Make sure you call in now or forever hold your vaginas. Let's see what some of the chat says. Let's see, y'all. KC McLaughlin says, I think so, but no, that wrong comment. Casey McLaughlin responding to me, the IC title looks the best of all, but I see where you're going. That's why I think there's also the brilliance of it is both mid-card championships are the ones that have a different look to them. And I think that is cool to differentiate them between the brands. I like that as well. Let's take another caller. 410, you're live with Dead on Dave. What you got?
How's it going, Dave? I'm calling on a different phone. Is the echo thing still happening, or is it better?
No, you're good, man. What you got?
Oh, okay. I thought the CWC, as usual, was really good tonight. Match of the night for me, though, was Sabre Jr. and Noam Dar. I thought that was better than the main event. That's just my opinion.
They were both good. They were both great matches. I agree, though.
They were both great, but I got to say, T.J. Perkins going over Swan. I don't know. I don't agree with that. I think Swan should have won.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not really a huge Perkins fan. He doesn't really do anything for me.
I like him, man. I think he's a better version of Evan Bourne in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. The fans were pissed when Swan lost. They were chanting bullshit, which I kind of agree, but
yeah, Swan's over, but I mean, like, God, it's kind of hard to go against T.J. Perkins in some regards, man. The guy is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, he is really good. I'm just personally not a fan, but
fair enough.
Next week should be awesome, and I think it's going to come down to Sabre Jr. and Ibushi, and I think Sabre Jr. is going to win it all.
It almost has to. Look, I wouldn't be surprised if one of them does have an upset, just kind of to throw a monkey wrench into things. I mean, it would be a little bit too predictable, but that doesn't stop the WWE before, because as long as you have really good execution, it doesn't matter if it's predictable, and everybody does want to see Sabre and Ibushi. Now, they could have had them fight earlier in the event to make sure that they would fight each other, but they didn't. And to save it for the ending, it's both good and bad, because now you kind of want to see an upset. You wouldn't mind seeing Metalik or TJ Perkins get a victory to kind of shock the world type of deal. But at the same time, you'll want to see Sabre and Ibushi. I mean, that's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah, that's like the money match in this tournament, and I think it's going to happen, and I think Saber's going to win it.
It's classic WWE, though, to be spiteful. You know, the fact that neither one of these guys is signing with WWE, they might be spiteful, man. And to have, you think about this, if either Grand Metalik or TJ Perkins, who have both signed with WWE, I believe, if either one of them is able to defeat both Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. in the same night, fuck. that's quite a bit of a feather in someone's cap, don't you think?
I would be shocked, and I mean, Metalik and Perkins, I think that'll be a great match, but I just don't see it happening.
Oh, I'm in agreement. I don't think both of them will win, but I think it's possible one of them wins, and I wouldn't be against it. But at the end of the day, I'm still with you. I want to see Sabre and Ibushi as well, so hopefully that's what's going to happen. And as long as it's executed, like I said, it doesn't matter how predictable it may be. Anything else for me?
No, I mean, I really don't want to talk about NXT. It really wasn't that good to me.
I liked it. I didn't think it was that bad.
I mean, Samoa Joe was great on commentary. I mean, he wasn't like a douche. I mean, he was kind of I don't know. It wasn't Samoa Joe we're used to. Yeah,
he made him humbled. He broke his back and made him humbled. Yes, that's what happened. It was fantastic.
I love how he called Tom Phillips Todd. That was great.
That was funny. Yeah, that was good. But I'm not letting it fool me. I know Samoa Joe. He hasn't changed his ways, but we'll see. All right, man. I'm going to throw your ass over the top rope. Have yourself a good night. Thanks for calling in. There you go. Didn't say goodbye or nothing. Hurt my feelings. Cut me deep with a knife down into my soul. You want to scoop out my heart with a goddamn spork. Oh, it hurts. As for the rest of the week, I'm not exactly sure. I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow night. It is going to be a rest night. Jake Link has joined a choir, so we'll no longer, at least for the time being, be doing a Nerd on the Juck on Thursdays. And unfortunately, with the rest of the week the way it is, we can't do it on Friday or Saturday this week either, which will be the easy move once this week is over. But because of everything else that's going on, more than likely tomorrow I'm going to release the Tommy C 5 random questions, mainly because not only is it epic and I'm tired of sitting on it, but I also want to clear the books because Friday I'll be recording Dustin Starr. That's right, the first ever wrestler on Dead on Dave Productions. Dustin Starr will be on 5 random questions, and I'm very excited about that. And I kind of want to be able to put that out that night. I might even do it live. I don't know. I'm kicking the idea around of doing it live, so maybe that'll happen. I haven't decided yet. But later on Friday night, we'll be doing the prediction show for Backlash. Won't be a very long, considering there's only like 6 matches, so not a big deal. Backlash prediction show Friday night. Saturday, I'm back at you again because UFC 203 is taking place, and I'll probably do the entire event. But really, I'm only doing it for one thing: CM Punk's fighting debut. And I'm not missing that. I want to see his ass get knocked out. So that's going to be a lot of fun. At least that's the plan. Doing all of these shows, but my voice sounds like it's about to go out at any time because I am not relaxing. I'm not resting. I'm not taking care of myself. Instead, here I am once again. No business being on here doing this fucking review. I should have went to sleep. I tried to go to sleep, couldn't sleep. So I came out and hung out with you guys. Now I'm going to get off here and I'm going to go writhe in agony for a few more hours and hopefully cry myself to sleep at some point. There you go. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of CWC and NXT for this week. Like, subscribe, and share. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to get up out of here. Thank you guys very much for joining me. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Share it around to your friends, your grandmother, your mommy, your daddy, your uncles, your aunts, your second cousin that you might have gotten a second base with when you were 11 years old. You know the one that you always do not make eye contact with at the family reunions. That one. Send it to her. Send it to him. They might want to see the fat man do his thing. By the way, a weight update. I took a giant shit this morning. I shit out 400 grams, half a kilo almost, half a kilogram, half a brick of cocaine basically. I shit out and I am down to 141.4 kilograms, which is 311 pounds. That means I am just 11 pounds away from getting out of the 300s, man. I have not been under 300 in like 7 years. So I'm very excited about that possibility. Can't wait for that. I'm going to keep kicking ass. Hopefully, if I start feeling somewhat better in the next few days, I'll be able to, walk around a little bit and not just be on my ass all the time. I see Steven Sawicki in the chat. First time watching. Good stuff, Dave. Hey, Steven, I appreciate that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Show a little love to the Copious Fat Man. And if you want to check out the gear, look at all that gear we got in the back. We see the Copious shirt. We got a whole bunch of great stuff over at www.deadondave.spreadshirt.com. Also, I have now gotten on Discord. That's right, I'm on Discord. If you want to join me on Discord and have a good time, we're partying. Sometimes I jump on and I'll sing a little song, whatever. Go ahead, right into the description box. You'll see the link to join my Discord. That's right, we're having a good old time. Bear is the runner of that. He is running that thing, taking care of it, curating it, and it's going to be a great place for all. We're going to have a good time. Any shows I might be doing, it's all going to be put there so you guys can see it. And maybe one day I'll be able to integrate that into the show. So, hope you guys are supporting all of that as well. If you have not yet to follow me on Twitter, make sure you do that as well, at DeadOnDaveV. Man, once we get to 5,000 followers, man, we can get on ProWrestlingTees.com. How good is that? That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to come on our way up. So, hope you guys had a great time tonight with this copious review of both CWC and NXT. I had a good time. Make sure you're checking out everything in the community, and we'll see you next time right here on Dead on Dave Productions. Like, subscribe, and share. And as always, if you don't have talent, have talented friends or a friggin' lozenge, because my voice is going out. We'll see you next time. Keep it copious, folks. Peace.